textbook filters look perfect. Sharp cutoffs, flat passbands, infinite rejection. But when engineers build the real circuit, the response is never quite the same. Why? Because real components are never ideal. In the previous lesson, we learned that proper impedance matching allows an RF filter to achieve efficient power transfer and perform as intended within a communication system. However, even with perfect impedance matching, practical filters still differ from their ideal theoretical models. Every real component introduces imperfections that affect the filter's frequency response. This raises an important engineering question. Why do real RF filters behave differently from the ideal filters shown in circuit theory? A real RF filter is influenced by the non-ideal behavior of its components and physical construction. Real inductors have series resistance and parasitic capacitance. Real capacitors have equivalent series resistance, ESR, and parasitic inductance. Even the printed circuit board, connectors, solder joints, and package layout introduce additional parasitic effects. As frequency increases, these non-ideal characteristics become more significant, causing insertion loss, reduced selectivity, shifted cutoff frequencies, and unexpected resonances. Intuitively, imagine designing the perfect race car on a computer. In the simulation, every surface is perfectly smooth and every component behaves exactly as expected. But once the real car is built, tire friction, air turbulence, manufacturing tolerances, and road conditions all affect its performance. RF filters experience similar differences between theory and reality. Physically, consider a bandpass filter designed to operate at 2.4 GHz. Computer simulations predict a center frequency of exactly 2.4 GHz with very low insertion loss. After manufacturing, slight variations in component values, PCB dimensions, and parasitic effects may shift the center frequency slightly and increase the measured insertion loss compared with the original design. Mathematically, ideal circuit equations assume perfect inductors and capacitors. Real circuit models include additional parasitic resistances, inductances, and capacitances, producing a transfer function that more accurately predicts the measured frequency response. Understanding real filter behavior is essential for every RF engineer. Simulation tools provide an excellent starting point, but prototypes must always be measured using laboratory equipment such as a vector network analyzer, VNA. Engineers routinely adjust component values, PCB layouts, grounding structures, and transmission line dimensions after prototype testing to compensate for real-world effects. This tuning process is common in Wi-Fi, LTE, 5G, satellite communication, radar, and microwave systems. Successful RF filter design depends on combining theoretical analysis with careful measurement and practical optimization. Understanding real RF filter behavior helps engineers bridge the gap between theory and practical implementation. It explains why measured performance rarely matches simulation perfectly on the first attempt. A common misconception is that if a simulation looks correct, the hardware will automatically perform the same way. In reality, prototype testing and design refinement are normal parts of RF engineering because every physical implementation introduces unavoidable non-ideal effects. In the next lesson, we'll explore filter cascading and learn how combining multiple filters can produce even better overall RF performance. In this lesson, we learned why practical RF filters differ from their ideal theoretical models. We also saw how parasitic effects, manufacturing tolerances, and PCB layout influence real filter performance. In the next lesson, we'll explore filter cascading and discover how multiple filters can work together to achieve higher selectivity and better system performance. If you found this useful, like the video, subscribe, and follow for the next lesson.